Opening scene, eerie music plays. Black and white footage of bombed cities, soldiers in trenches, and civilians fleeing. Host voiceover, intense tone. Imagine waking up to the sound of explosions. The skies are dark with smoke, and the streets are filled with chaos. Families are torn apart, cities are reduced to rubble, and millions are dying, not just from bullets, but from starvation, disease, and unimaginable cruelty. Scene 2. Dramatic visuals of Adolf Hitler and Nazi Germany's rise to power. Host, to understand the darkest day, we need to go back to the roots of the storm. On September 1st, 1939, Nazi Germany invaded Poland, marking the official start of World War II. But it wasn't just an invasion, it was the beginning of a global nightmare. Hitler's vision of domination spread like wildfire, consuming Europe and beyond. Cut to footage of tanks rolling through cities and soldiers marching. Host, by 1941, the war had escalated. Millions were already dead, but the worst was yet to come. And then, on June 22nd, 1941, Hitler made a decision that would seal the fate of millions more. He invaded the Soviet Union, launching Operation Barbarossa. Scene 3. Footage of the siege of Leningrad and starving civilians. Host, one of the darkest chapters of the war was the siege of Leningrad. For 872 days, the city was surrounded by German and Finnish forces. Food supplies ran out, temperatures plummeted, and people resorted to eating bark, glue, and even each other to survive. Over 1 million civilians died during the siege, more than the combined casualties of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Close-up shot of a child wrapped in tattered clothing, looking at the camera. Host, but as horrifying as that was, it wasn't the darkest day. Scene 4. Archival footage of Auschwitz and Holocaust survivors. Host, on January 27th, 1945, Soviet troops liberated Auschwitz, a Nazi concentration camp where over 1 million people were systematically murdered. But by then, it was too late for millions of innocent lives. Men, women, and children were starved, gassed, and burned in ovens, all because of their race, religion, or beliefs. This was the Holocaust, the darkest manifestation of hatred in human history. Cut to a survivor's testimony or a historian explaining the horrors. Host, the Holocaust wasn't just a series of atrocities, it was a calculated, industrialized genocide. It showed the depths of human cruelty and the dangers of unchecked power. And it happened not in some distant past, but within the lifetimes of people still alive today. Scene 5. Explosions and mushroom clouds over Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Host, but the darkness didn't end there. In August 1945, the world witnessed another unthinkable event, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In a matter of seconds, entire cities were wiped off the map. Over 200,000 people died instantly or in the aftermath. It was the first and only time nuclear weapons were used in war. The world had never seen destruction on this scale before. Slow-motion footage of the mushroom cloud rising.